you are a good-hearted man, when you have a good soul, right? When you care about yourself and care about others, let's say that, you will not be concerned about, oh, I'm doing wrong, because what happens is you're doing way too much good. So the second that you're bringing so much focus back into yourself, that's when you're really doing good for yourself. You guys are way too invested into females and way too consumed on what they will think, what's next, all these different things, when you should do that for yourself. You give a woman an example, or you give a woman of what it could be like, and then when she wants that to be the reality for her own life, you go ahead and make it to be a challenge for her to get it. What is up, my BBossBaddies and my bad mom fellas? It is your girl Bosana, and welcome BBossArmy. So as you guys can tell by the title, today I'm going to be talking about irresistible ways to, of course, attract women. I almost forgot there because I had a few other topics to talk about today, but I chose this one because of the fact that irresistible ways is almost a way of all men, guys, suggesting, oh, what can I do next? What is the best thing? Commenting, oh, how can I get her? All these things that I'm going to say today is going to help you guys improve your game, of course. And most definitely, at the end of the day, if you choose to deal with women, which I'm assuming you are, you have to keep in mind that you have to move differently than a lot of these other guys, not putting it in the category of guys that know what they're doing, but there's a whole lot of guys that don't know what they're doing, okay? So with that being said, make sure you go ahead and check out everything that is on my screen, on my social medias, and especially my new YouTube channel. I am dropping my first video next week, so go ahead and subscribe to that now. Thank you, y'all. So you know what, let's go ahead and get started with this. So we start from 3, go down to 1. So that means what? You gotta watch until the end to get the number 1 thing. All right, y'all. So number 3 on my list for irresistible to women, first thing that I have for the number 3, I know it sounded a little weird, first thing for the number 3, but showing women no mind. And I put in brackets, any and all women. So basically, when you are trying to attract women, you have to understand that you are not supposed to actually be trying. And that might be a key thing that you guys can take from this video, that you are not actually supposed to be trying. Females are supposed to, let's say this, gravitate towards you. They're supposed to be attracted to you and come towards you without you trying any other ways. Or at least, let's say this, you are not trying in a sense of you're trying to attract them, but in a sense of you're trying to attract your own self back to yourself. And that's something that I never ever hear. Like, I never heard that before. You want to attract yourself back to yourself. You want you to like you. You want yourself to love yourself. You want to find the self-love that you can have for yourself, instead of trying to bring that woman to be the person, the people's, whatever, whether you deal with different women, to be the reason why you find it all in that person or people, okay? So when I say number 3 is, of course, showing women no mind. Either if you've heard it before, if you haven't heard it, doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, when you're dealing with women and you show them no mind, all women are expecting you to do is show them mind. So you, of course, like I said in my other videos, do the opposite. But most definitely, when you're attracting women, you don't divide that individual attention that you can have to one specific woman. And maybe you guys heard it in grade school, you know, when the teacher says, oh, give me your individual attention, right? I've heard that before. Maybe you guys haven't. But at the end of the day, really, it's saying that I want you to focus on me. I want you to bring all that energy back to me. And that's something you guys absolutely don't have to do when it comes down to dealing with women. If you want to be irresistible to women, you have to give your individual attention to yourself. And when I say any and all women, I'm trying to tell you guys, yes, you might have a main female, you might have a side female, whatever it is that's going on, maybe you might have one. At the end of the day, don't divide it to that person. Don't divide it to that one female. So realistically, although you guys might hear get on your purpose and all these things, which I'm not actually going to talk about in this video, what I can tell you guys is that divide it separately to a point where somebody is getting so little that they want more. So that somebody, of course, is going to be females. When you're out here doing your thing, talking to different women, meeting different women, going to events, and you have to keep in mind, if you want to meet different women, if you're not having luck with online dating, you're going to have to do literally person to person dating. Like, that has to be done. But at the end of the day, when you go ahead and meet a woman, don't get so obsessed and caught up in the looks and what she is like, because when you do that, she already knows most times what she's like, and at the end of the day, you already come off way too strong. Even if she does know, you guys can have a better result when you are not coming on way too strong and you're not trying to be all obsessive and trying to be so controlling over her. So last thing that I'll finish off with, number 3, is that when you're gonna go out there dealing with women, as I said, showing women no mind, be about yourself and give that energy to yourself. Be focused on you. At the end of the day, when we say, oh, be on your purpose and be on your grind and do things that's going to be beneficial to you, we're saying that, but you guys aren't doing that. So if you can keep that energy towards yourself when you're meeting different women and show it as in, okay, I'm talking to you, but at the end of the day, I choose myself, then at the end of the day, a woman will know you're choosing you first, and then she can potentially come second. Even though, you know me, I don't recommend she comes second. There's a whole lot of things I can say about that, but we're not going to do that in that video. And with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next thing that is on my list. And so number 2 on my list is always working on yourself. I put in brackets never overworking. So I put never overworking because of the fact that sometimes I find that specifically men, they find like they're doing way too much to basically be focused on themselves, right? When you go to so many different things, when you deal with so many different things with females, you start feeling like, oh my gosh, like I am so concerned about myself, right? Like when you go through a transition of being a simp or being so obsessive, or let's say you're in a serious relationship and you can't let go and she has, you guys start feeling like, oh wow, like, you know, I'm consumed. And then when you go through that experience, the next chapter of being about yourself and feeling yourself, you start feeling like, oh, I don't even know if this is the right thing, or at this point, what is next? And I want you guys to understand there is nothing such thing, even if there is out there, to me, there's no such thing as overworking on yourself. When I told you guys, I'm not talking about being on your purpose, but being on your purpose is obviously a key thing. When I say being on your purpose, being about yourself and grinding and figuring out yourself and what's next, all these things, there's no such thing as feeling like, oh wait, I'm not giving enough energy. There might be times where you're dealing with a woman, once you have it figured out and you feel like, oh, I'm giving her way too much energy, or I'm not giving her enough. There's problems that will come about. But at the end of the day, when you're focused on yourself and you're all dedicated, you should not be feeling like, wait, hold on, I'm giving way too much energy to myself and I should put more effort towards a woman. Because here's the thing, when you are a good-hearted man, when you have a good soul, right, when you care about yourself and care about others, let's say that, you will not be concerned about, oh, I'm doing wrong, because what happens is you're doing way too much good. So the second that you're bringing so much focus back into yourself, that's when you're really doing good for yourself. And that's where you have to take it and let it click in. You're doing so much good for others, but you haven't been doing too much good for yourself. So now that you're doing so much good for yourself, you have to keep it going. You know what I mean? Like a roller coaster. You have to keep it going. It's not about, oh, how many females you can add on, but realistically, it's how much females going to come and want to get on that roller coaster for you to join that ride that you have. And it's all going to be built on how much you have built on yourself, everything that you're doing to get on your purpose. Everything. And like I said, I know I said this 3 times already, like getting on your purpose is important. I just don't want to get into details because there's specific things that you can say. But at the end of the day, really to wrap this point up, is make sure when you're dealing with women, be focused on yourself. And when you're dealing with women, all this energy that you guys keep giving out, when you bring it back to yourself, I've said this plenty of times, it will literally attract women. But realistically, what I can really say to you guys is that you guys are way too invested into females and way too consumed on what they will think, what's next, all these different things, when you should do that for yourself. Put yourself first. So always working on yourself. Never ever feel like you're doing way too much. Never feel like you're giving way too much to yourself. At the end of the day, females love it, and absolutely you're gonna love it because of the results that you're gonna get. And last thing I'll say is success will bring women into your life. And there's nobody that can tell me different. If you guys are working on yourself and you are growing, females are attracted to specific certain things. So really that just means that if you keep working on yourself, you get to a point of reaching success, there's hands down no way you cannot attract women. Instantly it happens where you attract women. So don't ever think that you can never, because I see some comments and you guys be thinking you can't. but absolutely you can. Okay, so the last thing that I have on my list is show her you're everything, a good man, basically showing her you are a good man, but don't become her man. So what happens when you are basically attracted to a woman, or let's say you're feeling a woman, if you want to become irresistible and you're showing her all that you can do, then you go ahead and act upon it, and it's in a sense of, oh, let me buy you things, let me do this, let me open the doors. Not saying that you shouldn't open doors, but let's say you're getting to a point of you're getting overdoing it, over possessive with it, women get turned off instantly. You have to grow the interest of her feeling like, oh, this is a good man for me. This is a good man overall. He has so much potential. He has so much that I can work with, right? If you go ahead and give her that, but then you go ahead and go ahead and do it, you're gonna go ahead and lose her, right? It's almost like you show somebody something as a tease, and then you go ahead and complete the whole tease, in a sense of like, you showed them and then you went ahead and did it. When you go ahead and do that, they lose a lot of respect. A lot of females feel like, okay, if you can go ahead and show me this, and let's skip the point of you showing them. If you go ahead and bring it up or do things about it, and then you go ahead and actually do it, it's almost like, wow, did I even try? For a female's perspective, did I even try to get it? Was I even working for it? Was I about you? And the answers are going to be no, no, no. And what happens when it's no, no, no? You fall into a category of being a whole simp. And that's what you guys don't want, of course. So it's really about, you give a woman an example, or you give a woman of what it could be like. And then when she wants that to be the reality for her own life, you go ahead and make it to be a challenge for her to get it. You give a woman an example, or you give a woman of what it could be like. And then when she wants that to be the reality for her own life, you go ahead and make it to be a challenge for her to get it. So show her what a good man that you are. And it goes all the way back to all the other things that I said. Working hard, getting on your purpose, doing things that's going to benefit you. And she's going to see that as in a man that can be a provider. All these other things that you probably heard since time, right? Being a provider, being there, being an alpha male, being masculine. All these things is going to play into part of you just doing you, being about you, right? And so when you do all that, you fall into the category of a man that she can have, but she can't have until she does the things right to get that man, and that is you, absolutely. Okay, so y'all, to finish up with this video, I want you guys to understand, when you're dealing with women, be yourself and be about yourself. All the effort and energy that you can give yourself, put that all into yourself and stop focusing so much on, I have to let her know this, because it's all gonna play out. She's gonna notice every single bit of it. You don't have to force nothing. And remember that she's gonna want you for what you're displaying to be. Not displaying to be for her, but displaying to be for yourself. Being the real man and alpha male for yourself, and masculine man, of course. Okay, so I really hope this video helped you guys out. And if you guys have any questions, concerns, and anything you guys want me to film, you know, upload for you guys next, comment that down below. Make sure you go ahead and check out everything that is on my screen. You guys will see me in my next video. Bye guys.